Alright, guys, I'm trying to experiment. Trying to do a comedy based thing, I guess. I think I want to just talk about what's happening in my way, maybe, because I'm always cracking jokes. That's how I deal sometimes. But, okay, we'll start here. BLM. I would think any cop that does anything outside of correct and wrong, right and wrong, and yeah, I am for making sure that line is drawn, clearly in the sand. I mean, there's no reason we can't find where it needs to be. Cops will have to be paid lots more, like double. They need to require more like a military, not style, but equivalent to, especially de-escalation training. I agree with Watch Rogan's podcast, and I do agree that, like special forces, they do 20% of their time, or military period, 20% of their time is training. Cops don't get anywhere near that. They do a couple hours a year just for, I don't know what they do in a couple hours. But, so much better training. But like I said, we will have to pay them more. And, I don't know if we can take away this plausible. I can't remember what I don't think we can make it where you can just sue a cop because you got a bruise on you or something. Look, let's be real about this. Cops deal with drunks. Cops deal with pretty much all the lower rung people in our society, and these people are unruly. You guys are trying to put fairness, which I understand. Everybody wants it to be fair, but the only way it can even be fair is if it works. That won't work. Making the cop be perfect and dealing with an imperfect situation, that doesn't work. He may need to protect himself, mainly. I mean, I do not deny that these cops are getting out of hand. I mean, we all know that guy we went to high school with that never got any respect, never really had any friends, and then became a cop to get respect. I have a couple of them too. It was two twin guys. They both became cops. So, and they're not good cops. So that's where I'm going with this. I know those exist. That's where the better pay and expecting better training comes in, to absorb or filter those types out. Like today we have personality testing today. If we wanted to, I mean, anybody can go take a test and it would tell you if you'd be good dealing with certain type of people. That you can't be short fused. You can't have I couldn't do it. I want to be straight up with you. I'm too hard nosed to probably be a cop, but I know that because I would I just wouldn't take no mess. I've watched these cops get spit on, yelled at, called all kinds of names, and stand there. And I could do it in a riot situation, if I had to help take or offer security for a reason. I'm not going to go off the deep end. What I'm saying is, on a day-to-day basis, to be able to and have the attitude it takes to deal with these people day to day to day, I know myself enough to where I would lose it. Because I know cops, I have friends who are cops, and I hear them talk about their frustration and how bad it is out there. And how they don't want to give up, but they feel like they're fighting a losing battle. I mean, we are at the point of almost losing the numbers it takes to have a police force, because society is breaking down to that point. What comes next is anarchy, people. We are imperfect. America is imperfect. But at some point, everyone is going to have to stop blaming things on people that had nothing to do or was living at the time it happened. If we have to take down some flag and the monuments, though, I mean, y'all are tearing down ones of people that supported the black community during the civil rights movement. I don't see this as a noble cause. I mean, Confederate soldiers maybe in the deep South, I'm not going to like it, because I don't want to erase any history. Because I do believe in the philosophy that history forgotten is history repeated. And you can't just remember the good. It's just not how the world works in the bigger scheme. You have to forget the bad. You have to remember the good and the bad. As much of it as we can. Therefore, we are less likely to repeat those big mistakes, those worldwide mistakes that we've already made as a people. You don't want to regress. You want to progress. And as hard as it is to see, destroying any kind of history of any good or bad event is regressive. These leaders try to tell you they're progressive, but I assure you they are to the extreme side of regressive. Progressive would be our next generation of any minority children not being taught in their schools all the horrible things that we did to each other in the past, like bad mothers and fathers, and putting the child in instant victimhood without a choice or a chance. This thing's going to go, it's going worldwide. It's not going to go, it's gone worldwide. And this is going to become a human rights discussion. And I really feel like that's what it should be. Punish the ones that we can find at the top that have abused us as a people, otherwise known as the 1%, not the 1%. It's not even a 1%. we're talking about a couple hundred old men that are at the top. But I got news for y'all. These people that you're after, when you finally can see the truth and understand which people you're supposed to be looking for, because y'all are, anybody that thinks this has anything to do with color has beer goggles on right now. They can't see 50% of the people they're trying to get. You don't understand that. This is not a white supremacy group we're looking for here. People, you can only see the white ones. Well, fine, go get the white ones. But those black ones are going to stab you in the back before you can get it done. Because you can't see them. Because they're race traitors and will slit your throat. You want to talk about race traitors? Y'all are calling people, black people that are putting on a MAGA hat, a race traitor. Every black person that I've ever talked to, heard of, watched the interview from, love people and don't want to harm anyone. They don't. But the ones I'm talking about, the ones that y'all refuse to acknowledge that's in existence because it's a white supremacy problem, it's not color. Half of these people are black. Can't you see that? Half of them are black. Look, man, I'm sitting here and I'm acknowledging that 50% of them are white. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying it's a black supremacy problem. I'm not saying let's kill BLM. I'm agreeing that there are some really bad black white people that need to be dealt with because they are creating the cops that are paying them off and telling them to create havoc in the black culture in order to keep escalating the black and white racism scam. They cannot let us see each other as equals. They cannot let us as a mass look at each other as he would help me. If that happens, then and only then we're going to have the power to look back and they're going to shit their pants. Can you understand that? Nobody hates anyone en masse because of their skin color. And if you do hate me because I'm white, because you think I've done anything to you ever, then lick my balls. Because I know I have never done anyone any harm because of their fucking skin color. I've cussed people out because they're stupid. I've gotten angry before with people because they did something I didn't like. You have problems with people, but it's on a one-to-one. Not a, well, he was an asshole, so they all gotta be assholes. Anybody who thought with that process is retarded. Can we agree? But I'm contending to you that on a mass we do not think that way. And I wish that you guys, I am not politically correct. But that, you know why? Because I've never attempted to be. Nor do I have the want to ever. I see it all as divisiveness. I can honestly step back and see this total landscape. Where it originated from, who's perpetrating it, why, how, who. I know every cog in the machine, and I can step back and I totally understand why it works, why it was put in place, and what it takes for us to dismantle the motherfucker. But it's got to be surgical, because this is America, and I am hoorah, love it or leave it. America is the greatest nation on the planet. I want to change nothing about it except the dickheads at the top that are soon going to be dealt with. And after these people are dealt with, namely the ones at the top controlling the Democratic Party and the rhinos, oh yeah, rhinos, you too, the rhinos in the Republican Party. Don't get it twisted, they gonna get it too. But when that's done and this is all over, this political divide, what are we gonna do here? I mean, do you really want to fight after, by the way, we look at our history. This is why we keep our history. We look back at where it's went every time. And every fight that's ever fought, we look at who profits from it and who comes out winning because of it. And it's never one of us. It's always them. And you know who them are? People, the money is a rigged system. They made so much so long ago that they could never lose power. They have too much money. They dominated that game a long time ago. There is no winning it unless we take the powers of money creation out of their hands and take it back for us as the people. But it's not going to happen as long as Jerome is out there smacking up Billy Bob because he called him what he thought was a racist slur. Let's get off these stereotypes. I mean, everybody has them now. Where none of us are innocent of the stereotypes. Not one color or sex is innocent of it. But I propose, if we could have the biggest movement in human history of just, hey, listen, let's come together and no violence, but let's make sure people make the decisions. Let's make sure people write the laws. Let's rake through these governments and make sure anybody there is there for the right reasons. Let's rise up as a people, march on Washington, and go in there and demand that we see every piece of paperwork, every piece of legislation, every piece of classified whatever we need to see to make sure to expose every rat that has ever existed in the existence of this American government and make sure they're dealt with. That has nothing to do with color. I want to give out I just don't understand it. It's got to be in the cities that believe this, because, brother, I'm in North Carolina, near Charlotte. I've encountered black men my whole life, many of them. I didn't grow up on the right side of town. We don't think nothing of it. So, if there is racism, it has to be in the cities. But it's obviously not the white boys in the cities, because they're all marching with y'all. So are they racist? If you ask a city black boy if a country white boy is racist, he'll say yes. But if you ask a country white boy, ask a country black boy if a country white boy is racist, chances are they're going to say no. Because, especially out in the country, most people are just regular people. There isn't no super rich around here or extravagant, over extravagant. Everybody's pretty much on an even keel. I don't know, it's sad. It's really sad. Because all you'd have to do, man, is instead of looking at each other, let's just turn our eyes and look in the same direction at the correct target. And this could be done in a month. We could own this bitch in a month. But y'all can't see. So you're still blind. I hate you because you're black. We get what we deserve. We either come together and we get something, we really get something, or we just stay divided and it'll just go on like it always has. We can have this race war and we can destroy each other, but the ones that really need to be punished are going to never feel a scratch. What the fuck is that going to what is that going to change? You could round up every KKK, every person that matters that's ever said anything racist, or round up anybody that you think is an Aryan or can prove is an Aryan. Round them all up. You can do it, put them in prison. It's not going to change nothing. Because the poor, ignorant racists that do exist, you kill them, nothing changes. Nothing. You kill them all, nothing changes. Kill them all. You have to get the smart racists. And the smart racists aren't racist. They're racist, but they don't see themselves as the same race as us. They don't even think they're totally different than us. We're scum. We're cattle. We're not their equals. We are not their race. They are humans. We are cattle. Well, I'm sick of being a freaking pig. And I'm not going to just stand here and be harvested and ate. I'm not going to just sit here and clearly see the real picture of what's going on and not do anything. I can't. It tears at me. But I don't understand, and everybody keeps telling, well, Steve, not everybody thinks like you. Well, they should. They should, because this is how we get what we want. Don't we want what we want? Don't we want to run this bitch? Don't we want to control the most powerful country ever known to man on this planet? How awesome would that be? And I'm going to tell you something. We do need to take control. We have to take control of it. We may, in America, we may have all our problems. You can look at someone and say they're bad and you're right and they're wrong, but I'm sorry, I wouldn't want any other group of people on this planet running this country than at least we claim to be Americans. We don't want the ones that are coming through for the flag, burning the flag, wanting to tear it down, wanting to dismantle America, want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You want, it's like the baby, you have this big, beautiful, just gold covered bathtub, most beautiful bathtub in the world, and your baby's in there, and she pees in it a little bit, so you throw the whole thing out, baby included. I don't think we should go that way. It's simple. We take race out of our minds. Look at each other and realize, for the most part, we all love each other. And realize that we each got a little bit of people in our camp that would like to hurt one or the other because of their color. But we as a group agree to turn the fuck around and deal with them so that we don't mess up what really matters. The mass of us that love each other come together and do this big thing that's never been done probably since we've existed. I don't know exactly how long ago these people took control, but I have to guess it's been thousands of years. I mean, I don't know too much more to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Till next time.